Good morning, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is Wednesday, so we're here with our fabulous coach all the way from Toronto, Canada, Coach Caren, our money mindset coach. I'm Carolina from California Cover Up. And my partner, Miss Francine Gregory, is running stuff in the background. She's such a fabulous producer. She has us over here on Facebook, Periscope, and YouTube. So you can catch us everywhere. And don't forget to tune into our podcast, which is also available for Biz Chicks. With that, we're going to get started. Hey, Caren, I heard we've been talking sales lately. What's up today?
We're finishing up this month and we're talking today about the mission statement. So we're going to do a brief run through of everything we've done so far. And then we'll talk about the mission statement today because last week we talked about vision. So yeah, that's what we're doing.
Oh, great. Okay. Well, let's get on with the mission of the whole thing.
All right.
Let me get my pen out.
So I'm going to just briefly walk you through whether you were here or on the replay and you are today, just so that to refresh your memory. So we started out this month talking about sales and how it affects the mind. That was the first week. And then on week 2, sales continue the secret of successes and where it leads you to, and usually what happens after, when you look back in hindsight. And last week, we dived into, I talked about vision and a little bit about the mission statement. But I didn't get too deep in that because I spent a lot of time on the vision, which is so important because when you vision it, then you get to write about a mission. And so for the vision, we talk about courage, we talk about creativity, we talk about confidence and self-control. And all these things is really helping you to mold your leadership and figure out the style you need. And other things, all these things take time, and it means you have to spend a lot of alone time. So if you're a person that gets anxious when you're alone, maybe you want to put on some soft music or something that soothes the soul, but you need some alone time. And that's how your vision comes to life, because you might see it, envision it, know what you want, but taking it out of your head and actually putting it on paper is not an easy task. So, there's a lot of people write books, but they don't actually write their books, and that's because they can probably talk to you and I, but to put it on paper is not an easy feat. So I understand. All right. So that's where you need this time to be creative and allow it to flow however it shows up and look until you can put it together. And so for today, on the 26th, the last Wednesday of February, we're talking about the mission statement. And this all tie in together with being and really performing at your highest peak in your sales business life. Because if you're in business, you're in sales. You cannot be in business without being in sales. Don't fool yourself. You can market till you blue. If you sell nothing, you're not in business. You got to sell. So all these things are developing all these skills for you so that when you go out to sell, you're a powerhouse. You understand where to go back in and tap into. You're going to get tons of no's. Most people get 1,000 no before they get a yes. And that might sound despondent and hard, but what it really is there, why all those no's are needed, by the way, not because, oh my God, I get no's. No, they are needed because they build you up. They push you to see how strong you are, what you can do with yourself. That's what those no's are for. You have to look at failures and things that don't work out and see the positivity in it. See why it's there, what it's really telling you, what it's asking of you. So those things are important. All right. Ready?
Wow, I never thought of no as being important to the process.
Yeah.
I knew that it was the journey to yes.
Yes.
But I didn't think I would like to avoid no's. I mean,
we all would, but it's so important. It's so important. We tell our kids no all the time, and because we're saying the no to our kids, it feels good. But to say it to when it happened to ourselves, we're like, oh my God. But it's really just the journey. It really just helping us understand and get in deeper and ask these questions. It fall under the bracket of I can't afford this. And then you said, how could I afford it? Versus I can't afford it. How can I afford it? What do I need to do to be able to afford this desk, this computer, and then you get all those answers. Many of them you wouldn't like,
Mm.
but one out of the crowd will work. Same as the nose, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
mission statement is, a good mission statement can surprise and inspire and transform any business. This, you can go look this up. That's what it says on Google. So I pull it straight from there, and then I'm going to give you my take on different things as I like to
Mm-hmm.
do.
Hi, Natalie. Hi, Donald. We got
Ah,
some folks tuning in. I'm just
yeah.
waving. Go ahead.
It should provide a clear stated purpose for your business, the goals you have for succeeding. It should work hand in hand with your beliefs, your business culture, look, feel, touch, and taste. And that's the point. That's the part I'm going to dive into today, talking about those four core things, and so that you can think a bit broader before you narrow it down when you're going to write
Mm.
this statement. So you can have all this stuff in mind. You can do a lot of research. And the first research you want to do is not online. The first research you want to do is within yourself and understanding your
Mm.
beliefs and where you're coming from and why you want this to be. It is important for you. And then you go and research other things. If not, when you go to research, you'll go so wide away that sometimes you never get back to actually writing the statement. You're like, screw this, I'm just going to start this business. But then you don't have this foundational piece to go back to, which is your vision and your mission when the hard time comes, because it will come. And as I always say, it just comes to test you. That's all that is. That's just testing ground. It's not to deter you, it's just your testing ground. All right. So without any further ado, you need to provide, number one, you need to provide a clear roadmap towards your business purpose. Listen,
Mm.
if you're not a writer, get pieces of cardboard, get pieces of paper, put it down, stick it down with something, and just write words in there. That's your roadmap. Don't get all excited or confused or feel overwhelmed with a whole bunch of things. If you're not a big time writer, just do the smallest thing. Get the roadmap out. I'm here and I want to get to there. How do I
Mm.
do it? Allow the answers to flow and write it down. Leave it. That's
Mm.
temporary. That's just brain dumping. That's just putting you out there so your mind can start expanding and giving you the answers that you're looking for. That's what mindset is about, by the way. That's what you do to expand yourself and grow your mind. And I'm going to talk a little bit about finances in a minute. But that's part of how you grow your mind and expand it. And you're not, tied into this tiny box that you can't do anything but what I know. So get that roadmap out and get going. Just hack away at it. It doesn't have to look fancy. Just stick it there and let's move it on. Okay. And number two,
Mm.
your mission statement, and this is my thoughts on it. This is my personal opinion. Your mission statement should be what your beliefs are, what your core beliefs are. Because when you have this core, you build a culture around your core beliefs. And
Mm.
the people you attract to you understand this culture or want to participate in this culture and excited to be in the culture. And you're not forcing them anymore because that's where they want
Mm-hmm.
to be. And so you have a place to welcome them home because that's your culture, that's your belief. And you want to do, don't want anybody else. No, 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 no. Just you, because right now it's about you, and everybody who's coming on board is going to follow suit. You're the leader at this moment. Okay, so you want to really
Ah.
pay attention to that. And so if you don't know what your beliefs are, you can have to go find that out. just sidebar,
Yeah.
because I do know people's going to say, well, I don't have any strong belief. You have some, but if they're under the water and it's just below the surface, and you're not quite sure if you should bring it above, because it could be a lot of things. It could be something that gets shut down when you were a child. You could have been in a relationship and the person make you feel so bad that you don't think, you can use that anymore. It could be a sibling, a friend. It could be anybody that has derailed you. So now, although your
Mm.
belief was good and strong and wherever that was, now you're questioning it. And it's okay to question it, but don't question it to depth, or don't take people's opinion of what you believe in and let that rule how things are going to work out. This is a good time for it to be about you, and it's okay. I'll say that. This is a very good time for that. All right. So let's cover the four things we're going to talk about: is the look, the feel, the touch, and the taste. The look when you're thinking about your mission statement, this is really touching into your branding. We hear about branding with colors and but we don't even think about that when we are doing the mission statement. And now this is not the top of your head, so you're not thinking about it, but it's part of your branding. It's part of, we're gonna
Mm,
wrap things up together. This is why when I talk about business, so I like to talk about it in the more expanded version versus just the narrow, I'm gonna sell this and that's that. Because when you see it this wide, you start seeing, hey, I'm really going to build something big here. I don't know what it's going to be and how big, but I'm going to really build something here. Because you're talking about branding. That's part of the look. That's how you're showing up what's happening. That's part of the look.
mm,
And the feel is how people will feel after working with you, with your company. That's what the feel is. And people will tell you how they feel. You don't even have to ask them. They'll tell you how they feel after working with you. And so
mm.
that's what I said initially. When you write a mission statement, it's great, but you can go back in and tweak it after some findangling and doing a little bit of business to get you ready. Because what it really does when people give you a feedback, you've had it behind your mind anyhow, and they're just confirming what your
Mm.
belief has decided. And the touch, does it feel like home to them? Remind them of something beautiful, special, intimate. People want to know that. And even when they're not sure why they're feeling like that, if you start giving them certain words, the connection will happen and they'll tell you yes. We as humans are creatures of comfort. We like things that make us feel homey and good. Even if you didn't have a home, you still want that feeling. And so that's why not certain, all commercials play off of our emotion
Mhm.
and it brings forth some kind of feeling, whether you understand it in the moment or later. It is right there. It has to tap into you. That's what they've
Wow.
written, and they know this, and they have to have that play off on you.
Wow.
That's part of what you want to write in your mission statement. And for the taste. And this part, I remember when I first started teaching about business and I talk about the taste, you were like, well, if it's not food, how am I going to make them taste it? And then my
Yeah.
question was, how do I explain this to them? I mean, I know, but how do I explain it to them? And, this is over time. I would write it out. I would talk about this in workshops or like this. And I finally recognized that, the taste is bringing a certain taste to the senses, smells that can turn into taste. So taste for your business plays off of that senses of something, and you get to put it together. It's like we have a snack that made me a lot of money in Guyana called mitai, and
Mhm.
although it's not a North American thing, the way North Americans put it together, they say, oh, this tastes like frosted flakes. That's what
Oh,
so they had the connection, right? This tastes like frosted.
got you.
I liked frosted flakes when I was a child. Oh my God, I used to ask my mom for a lot of it. And so when I first brought this product to Canada here and I give people to taste, a friend of mine said, Karen, and this is how people come into your lives and say things. She says, nobody's going to buy this because, people don't know what it is. And I said, that's okay. I'll have them taste it. And the minute they was able to connect it with something that they had in their childhood, I didn't have to sell anybody on it. People just wanted it. They just asked for it because it brought back that feeling of I was at a kitchen table or I sneaked some out. My mom told me not to have it. It brought a laugh to their faces. They hide some in their coat pocket. This one guy told me, he said, ants was in his jacket pocket. It brought a whole story from something that they never had before, that they didn't know about, but the connection was there. And so when
Mm.
I say taste, is whatever your belief in your culture you build and all the things I talked about before, it brings this sense of awareness and people can taste something within your product. And it's strange to say, especially when it's not food. I just speak on food. But when it's not food, there's still this connection there. There's something that brings it back. And you want to hone in on that.
Wow. Got you. So invoking some kind of memory or connection or something familiar,
Mm-hmm.
connecting to something that people are familiar with.
Yes, yes, yes. Brings that about, and that's how that taste come into play. I'll give an example without it being food. Let's talk about shoes. We all can connect on shoes, right? We all
Yes.
can connect on shoes in some shape or form, and that's you can bring somebody's sense awareness and taste buds into shoes, and you can do it in this manner. You're writing a statement. You're talking about shoes because that's what you're doing when you bring in, it doesn't even have, it could be 3 words or a sentence that you have narrowed down. This will take time. I understand this. Just so you know, this will take time so that you can put that sense in there. Somebody will connect the shoes that their mother had worn, their grandmother had worn, or
Mm-hmm.
you had a shoes and the strap got busted. And remember when
Mm-hmm.
fell into the water? There is all sorts of ways that you get to connect things. And now, people,
Ah.
this mission statement is for you, and so most people is never going to see your mission statement. You put a little blurb up,
Mm-hmm.
but the majority is for you. So you have to remember this. But because you've written your vision and because you've written your mission, you are usually pulling things out from there when you write your copy, when you do your social, when you do your
Mm-hmm.
branding. So you bring in all this stuff that I'm talking about that people don't see immediately into focus. And then you are watching your business blossom. This is how you might see a simple business and you see they're selling, but you don't understand the fineries and the different things that's happening behind the scenes that you'll never see. And some people will never talk about. I mean, I am talking
Mm-hmm.
about these things these days, but I know that I never spoke on them before. I knew it, but you know, the platform wasn't there. Nobody was, I at the time think was interested to this point. So of course I held a lot of things that I knew in. And the more I talk, the more I develop my program, my coaching and stuff, the more I see the need, and then the more it'll come to fruition and I'll speak on it. But it's a lot of little things that happen behind the scenes in people businesses that you see grow and blossom
Mm-hmm.
and just, versus another shop over there, another business over there that's not doing as well. And you're like, what are they lacking? What's happening? What's going on? I knew a friend of mine, oh, the guy, he could have been my dad. His business in Guyana did very well. He sell beers and crap, nothing big and fancy. But when you get to his establishment, the conversation and the storytelling and the people that would be there. I mean, they can go to better places and have a beer, but everybody would be at Hammond having a beer because of what's happening there. Of
Mm-hmm.
what's going on, what's happening there. The other thing was above him, his wife would sometimes be cooking, and just those smells would make people stop. They'll, get stuff. There's this whole atmosphere that was built around his business. Now, he came from business people. His parents had businesses, but it was never as great as his business. Their business was good, but he knew the little nuance that you needed, the little ingredient, that little spice, that little whatever was needed, just at the right time to keep bring and continue growing his business.
Mm-hmm.
And that has
Wow.
a lot to do with your beliefs. So when we were on the online space, especially when I came, let me just speak for me. It took me a couple of years, I will say, to connect, to see how things connect. Once I was able to connect things, I realized whatever we did offline, it's the same thing happens online. We just have to find a way to explain it, to be in the right presence with the right people, to be
Mm-hmm.
able to explain to them what's happening. A business that's doing well, selling, lashes or whatever they sell, they're
Yes.
able to do that versus somebody who put up a Shopify store and they're like, I don't make any sales. Well, they thought when they put it up, they would make sales, but they didn't do the kind of work we're talking about here. What's your vision? No, I'm just going to make some money selling lashes because it's popular. No, what's your vision for this business? What's the mission? What's behind it? Why would somebody buy your lashes versus my lashes?
Mm.
How are you bringing them? And not only well, I heard Instagram is a good place to show pictures, but what are you talking to people on Instagram about? What are you talking to them on Facebook about? What is the focus
Mm-hmm.
this week or for this month? This is love month. How are you incorporating that love for whatever into this month with lashes that brings them back to your website? Like, this is a real full-time journey that you have
Mm-hmm.
to get into to make it work. And sometimes people lose sight of that because we want a quick buck and never works.
Mm. Wow.
It just never does. It just never does. You have to put in that work. And that really is the mindset. That's why we've always heard that if you're just going after money, and I love money, love counting it, love talking about it. Okay. But if that's the only thing that you're going after, you're not going to be successful in business. You're just not going to be.
Mm-hmm.
If the only thing you focus on is the money, you're not going to be successful in business. You're going to be starved. You're going to be hungry. You're going to always be broke because you can't catch up. It's the guy who goes to work every single day, 7 days a week, and he's broke. And he says, well, why am I so broke? I mean, I work hard. I'm always at my job. I'm always there on time. I leave late. I come early. I put in my time. I paid my dues. He's nasty. He's wicked to people on the side. He's doing all sorts of different things. And nobody knows this, but he knows this. It's
Oh
hard.
my goodness. Oh my gosh.
And he's not succeeding. And he's complaining and he's whining.
And he can't figure it out. Huh?
And he can't figure it out.
So a lot of this has to do with attitude, the love you put into something. You know, are you really doing something because it comes from the heart? Um, or are you just doing it because it pays?
And everything has its place. If you're really broke and have nothing, don't get me wrong, you pray for stuff and God puts something in your way and He allowed to provide for you. At that moment in
Hmm.
time, you go after it and you take it. But what happens after then? Once you get past this little hurdle, this little part where everything seems like there's nothing, He wants to know what else
Hmm.
you're going to do. Because just as fast as He presented it and you got it, He'll take it away. Because now you're there, you're
Hmm.
doing nothing else. A, you're not helping anybody. B, you're not growing this into what should be, what could be, because our business is an extension of us, and it's there to help each other. Our businesses are there directly to help each other. And if you're getting into business and you're not helping anybody, you're not taking care of anybody, you're not doing anything, it goes away from you so fast. I think faster than it comes. Faster than it comes. So you have to start developing your mindset, the way you think,
Hmm.
the way you process. And if you don't know how, you read books, you go to seminar, you come to the districts and listen to conversations like this. You go to YouTube, you do whatever you need to do, and most importantly, you pray excessively, extensively on it so that you can get clarity
Hmm.
and answer, and you journal what's coming to you.
Hmm.
Whatever answers are happening, you want to journal this. This is important. You literally can sit down and get things that's just in your head out on paper. You ask
Hmm.
anybody who's moving forward in life, computer's great, you can write anywhere. But you ask them, they're still with a pen and a paper and they write it down. There's this connection
Hmm.
that happens, might not be everything, but this connection that happens when you write it down. I mean, if you have the pencil
Hmm.
for your iPad and stuff, I guess you can write it there too. But there's this connection when you're writing things down, when you're battling through what you need to do to get your vision and mission statement down. Let me tell you, it's no small feat. It seems easy and it seems you can just do it. I want you to know that I know that it takes time to get done. And I want you to know that I know you have to go back over time and keep tweaking it. But it's the wonderful place to get back to when the hard time comes and you're not sure or you're doubting yourself.
So the mission, okay, in my mind, when I think of vision and mission, the vision is where I want to go overall. And then to me, the mission is how I'm going to get there. So then, how how long should these things be? Should they
Oh,
be a page? Should they be a paragraph? How long should a mission statement be?
each, when you start off, you probably have a whole page. But over time, you'll bring it down to probably a paragraph.
Okay.
Because
So you.
you summarize over time. You summarize.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
summarize. What I found for me was a really good place to be with a 3 paragraph, and then I summarize that. I keep my 3 paragraph, by the way, because that's what I like to do. But I summarize it to a 1 paragraph because that's the core. Same with the vision; it's just the core. So I got 2 paragraphs, one for my vision and one for my mission. But the reason I have the other three on the side is for me to poke holes and investigate and explore my creativity. So I'm not stuck or I don't feel like I can't expand. And again, that's why
Mhm.
vision, I have, I talk about creativity and the courage and that sort of stuff. Because sometimes when you find that one, like you don't have a lot of that anymore, it's just because you need to find some quiet time. We're all creative beings, okay? We can be a
Yes.
creative like that. When we're feeling moving, it's because we've got so much going on and we're not finding that quiet time. We're not finding that time where we're just listening, if you will. We're not talking, we're
Mhm.
not trying, we're just listening. And we're allowing whatever needs to happen, happen. And we should
Mhm.
really have that a couple times a week. If you could do it daily would be like excellent. It's the part of us that you can't buy, you can't get anywhere. You just have to allow it to flow because I feel God give it to us already. So he just waits for us to take the time to explore and enjoy it.
Gotcha. Oh my goodness. Mm. Okay. Well, you know what? Um, I think this is something that a lot of people struggle with. Um, when do they know that their vision and their mission statements are complete and um, actually outline what it is that they plan to do and how they're going to do it? So to me, the vision is the what, and the mission is the how. Is that correct?
You could look at it that way. I don't look at it that way, but you could look at it that way. I look at the vision as the dream. I visualize it's there in the dream, right? That's how I look at it.
Hmm.
And the vision is how I'm gonna. So yes, the what and how I'm gonna accomplish it,
Hmm.
and what I expect for myself and the client to receive from my business. So that's why those two things for me is so important, and so that I can go back to them. And as for having it be complete, I don't want anybody to be, if I wasn't clear, to be so caught up on it that they can't go forward doing what they have to do. Let me just clarify that. Like you're writing a book and you can't find the name of the book, so you can't finish writing the book. Write the book, the name will come. You're writing the program, write the program, you'll get the name. Don't worry about that. It's somewhere in there.
Hmm.
So whatever you're feeling and doing, that's why I give those advice in terms of the look. Make a roadmap, get it set up. Or how you want to feel, write it down, and then you take those clusters and you put it together and you like here it is and you walk away, give it 48 hours and then go back to it and see what it is you really want to see.
Does
And
it really say what you were trying to say?
then,
Gotcha.
yes,
Gotcha. Oh
yes.
my goodness. Okay, well, Coach, summarize for us what we talked about today. You said there were 4 points: um, the color, the feel, the touch, and the taste of a mission statement.
hmm hmm
Okay.
So,
Could you review for us?
yeah. So I talk about the look, the feel, the touch, and the taste of the mission statement. And for the look, it's really touching into your branding. For the look of your mission statement,
Hmm.
you want to start thinking colors. You want to start thinking in terms of a look, right? That's what you really want to start to think about.
Hmm.
For the
Hmm.
feel is how people feel after working with you. And you want to work that in there. Sometimes we ask the question. So I see it in Facebook group. When people work with you, what's the outcome? What you expect them to get out of it. You want to have that in there. It gives you a baseline and a touch. Does it feel like home to them? Does it remind them of something beautiful, gorgeous? Do they want it? Because that's the place you want to be in. Nobody want to be in a sad spot. That's really where you want to be.
Mm.
How sad you are, you really want to get away from that. And the taste, does it bring back a certain taste? Does it mess with your senses and allow you to be alert about something past, you know, far in the future you want to be, or right present now, and it just kept you right there. So when you wrap all those things together, and that's your mission for people in life, they can't help but want to work with you, want to buy your stuff, because you're going to use all this stuff in your mission statement, and you're going to pull it out little by little, and you're going to use it for your content marketing, you can use it for sure your branding, you're going to use it in your
Mm,
programs. Everything that you do is going to feed back into that. It somehow should feed back into that, because that's the mission for you.
wow. Wow. I I like the whole idea of vision and mission statements because they set the parameters for where we're going and how we want to get there. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Like,
Yes,
how do I want to feel once I arrive? How do I
yes,
want my customers to feel? Uh,
yes.
because when I think about it, when I do my clothing business, I want my customers to feel beautiful. I want them to feel, you know, like when they come to me, that it's safe to try on things, that
Yes.
are the things that are available will fit them. They
Hmm.
have. I want them to have choice.
Yes.
I I don't want them to feel like they are reduced to a certain type of style,
Right. Yes.
because they are a certain size.
Exactly.
Because I know how that made me feel. I felt
Hmm.
like when I went into the department store, people looked at me and thought, okay, she looks like Little House on the Prairie, so this is what we're going to give her,
Yes.
or this is the only choice I'm going to give her,
Mhm.
and that's just not.
It doesn't make anybody feel good at all. Just
Mm-mm,
doesn't. Yeah. Yeah.
no. So, so that is the feeling that I want my customers to be able to avoid, and that's the feeling that I want to invoke with my business, a feeling of pride and
Hmm.
happiness and
Yes.
joy and,
Yes.
and I'm
Exactly.
alive and sexy and
Yeah.
attractive. Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
what people want to feel. That's that nobody wants to feel sad and like I can't.
Mhm.
No,
Mhm.
nobody wants that. So that's what our business is supposed to do. So this month, guys, for those here and those who are catching us on the replay, we talk a lot about sales and just different part of it that sometimes we don't even think to look into. And I hope
Yes.
that I bring forward to you things that you can go back and just tweak if you did it before, or if you haven't done it yet, this is the time to get it done. This is the second month of the year. This week is the second, ends the second month of the year. We're getting
Mhm.
into March. The third month, could you believe it? We're going to be talking about more things on mindset and more things on finances and more things on just getting profit in your business consistently so that you can plan it, especially our business people. We want to make sure you got money in there, because when money's not there on the cash flow end, it gets us all feeling overwhelmed and we feel like we can't function. I want you to start thinking, when I start this year, start talking about the budget for the year. And the reason I talk about
Mhm.
budget for the year is so that you can have money flowing in. If you were doing things right, or you want to start getting on track, so you can have 6 months money in the bank that could pay your bills, your monthly bills, and now your focus is able to be on the business. Some people, that's a dream they love to aspire to. Some people have the money but they haven't figured out how to allocate it, so this is possible. And all those things, I think we're going to talk a little bit about that next month, my birthday month. We'll talk a little bit about that because it's the money month. We want to talk about that kind of stuff, and how you allocate and how you set up and what you do. Yes, because it's about the mind and what the minute you set your mind on what you can do, you ask the question and get done. So we talk about budgeting in January. This month we talk about
Mhm.
sales. In March we'll do a bit about financing, and yeah, budget is financing, but a little more about the financing part of it and how to set the mind to be able to accomplish the things you want to accomplish. All right.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Coach.
You're
You
welcome.
always have great information. The thing I love about it is that it it's the subtle things that we don't talk about because we're not really in tune with that or even aware of it. You can't think about what you don't know.
Yes.
So I want to thank you so much for bringing awareness today about that little subtle stuff that goes into a mission statement that we tend to overlook or not be aware of. So again, I want to encourage everyone who's watching here, watching on the replay, to contact Coach Caren if you need advice on how to get your mission statement or your vision statement together. The
Mm.
other thing is she is rebranding herself as Profiting Daily.
Profit in daily. Yes, baby.
So you
And
can
that's
find
what
her
you
over
do.
there on
If
the
you need
web.
to rebrand, you just do what your business needs.
I love it. I love it. So with that, you can find Coach Caren with a C
Mhm.
over here on Facebook if you're looking for her, and other places on the web. So that's Caren with a C. And we'll be back here next Wednesday with Coach Caren. In the meantime, I want you to know that tomorrow we'll be here with Robin Shamizu and friends for Happy Healthy Habits. And then Friday we'll be talking tech and English. Also, First Monday is coming up, guys. Make sure you get your tickets because it's filling up. We're going to be talking about interns. So you want to come on over there to season 52 if you're in the Sacramento area and join us at 6 o'clock in the evening this coming Monday. With that, I want to remind everybody,
Don't
don't
forget to
forget
go to the front of your
to
own
go to the
mind.
front of your own line. Bye bye. So I'm going to wait for that. Hold on. I guess I'm going to have to go in here.
You're at the wheel,
Okay.
Sherry.
Yeah. I, I
Where
don't know
are
what
you? Where are you?
happened. Hold